come in and weave around that ring. Come on and dance and look at the cars. Well, the night was filled with a million stars.
Scotty and Garen, hi.
How you going?
Yeah,
Good to see you,
g'day.
Trevor. Yeah.
Now, one of the things I wanted to ask you about Diggers, okay, it hasn't been going a long time, maybe 3 years or so.
The Diggers started out as a morning club.
Right.
And most other, well, I think this is the only club that dances on a morning. The rest are all night dances.
Yep.
And what we did was we had some people that didn't want to go out and drive. So people are getting older.
Yes.
And so they don't want to travel of a night time or
Yes.
go out of a night time.
I see.
And so we didn't know how it would go. So Karen and I got together and we decided to give it a go.
Yeah.
And set it up. And it turned out to be a success.
Yeah.
We did start, the learners was, when we first started, that was a night class.
Right.
And once they graduated, we put everything down to here and did it a morning.
Right. Okay, so now you both have a wealth of experience in square dancing over the years, and Karen, you were involved with many things, and tell us a little bit about your backstory.
I've been involved in nationals. I've done two of them here in Adelaide. I've done quite a few state conventions, and I've been dancing for over 20 years in square dancing.
Right.
So,
And you love it.
I definitely do.
Yeah. And do you feel that it's a good thing for fitness?
Very much so.
Yeah. And like that's what a lot of people probably don't realise, that I suppose, you know, Scotty, as you know, fitness is a big part of it. You know, people don't realise it's not only using your brain but also fitness as a, you know, like it's coordinating your body basically to the calls. But Scotty, your background was like maybe you started a lot of clubs overseas, is that right?
Yes, correct. I started calling in 1972.
Right.
And then I didn't have any clubs here in Australia, but I was transferred overseas in 74. And then I started a club in Singapore. Where I was based in Singapore at that stage.
Yep.
And ran that club for about 2 years. Then I was transferred into Indonesia in Balikpapan in Borneo.
Right.
Over there I had two clubs. I had one in Balikpapan, and there was a gas plant about 200 kilometres north of Balikpapan, and they asked me if I'd do something up there, being as there wasn't very much entertainment in the gas plant, but there were families up there. And so every Friday they would fly me up there to do that. After 2 years in Balikpapan, I was then transferred to Jakarta, and I was calling probably 4 nights a week in Jakarta with different clubs. So I had one at the university, American Indonesian University. I had another club that I called for, which was one of the cement plants. And then I had two of my own, a learners club and a mainstream club in Jakarta.
Right, okay.
And after about 4 years in Jakarta, I was transferred up to Medan. From Medan, I used to drive down every 6 weeks from Medan to Jakarta, right down through Sumatra.
Really? Okay.
And there were two clubs there, one in Duri and another one in Rumbai. These were oil company camps, and they had them, and so I'd call for them, and then I was transferred to Japan.
Yep.
I had a club in Japan. I was in Japan for about 5 years. I would dare to say that I had the first club in China when I moved to China.
Right, okay.
In Sheku. And then from there into Malaysia. I had a club in Malaysia, and so... And then,
Well, there you go. You've been around, and obviously, how did they sort of take to those, that area, as in, you know, like all the countries that you've gone to, how did they take to square dancing? Is the question I'm trying to ask you. Initially, they go,
barrier.
okay.
No, I was working for an oil company or a service company, oil service company in those days, and of course a lot of Americans were overseas, especially in Indonesia, well, Singapore especially. It just happened I was talking up in one of the offices with some people there, and it just came around something about square dancing. I said, yeah, I call square dancing. And, and that was basically the start of it in Singapore. In Indonesia, once again, I guess it preceded me. They knew I was coming, and didn't take long, but the American Indonesian University, that was all Indonesians.
Right, okay.
And by that time I'd speaking reasonable Bahasa Indonesian, but if I did have any technicals, most of the people from the university spoke English anyway, so that wasn't a big. But the challenge was definitely Japan, where it was all Japanese, and that just. There are many square dance clubs in Japan.
Oh right, I didn't know that.
There's a lot of clubs in there, and I was based in Niigata, which is up on the Japan seaside, and there was a club there, and I was co-calling in that. There were two other callers there, so I co-called with them, and then I started my own, and in China. That was basically, we had a few Chinese, but was basically American. But all the Chinese we had spoke English.
Okay.
Malaysia, everybody spoke English, so there was no problems there. But the beauty of it is, it just goes to show that it doesn't matter where you go. If you can dance in one place, you go to a complete different country, complete different club, and you can fit in and dance.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. Because many years ago I went over to the US, and I must admit that was probably 30 years ago, and I did go to a mainstream. That probably wasn't called mainstream back then, but I did dance at one of the clubs, and it pretty much the moves were. It was not many moves that were different at that point, so it was quite good. But one thing I want to ask you, Karen, how do you feel with running a club?
I have actually a lot of fun. So you actually get to meet new people.
Yes.
And become friends. And apart from just dancing, you can actually go out with them.
Yeah.
So
it's more of a social thing as well.
You can have all that with them. So it's not just make friends here. You can go out with them and have a good time as well. So
that's it. Well, thank you very much for having a chat.
That's okay.
At Diggers Delights is at Salisbury. So you should say something, Scotty, about if anyone wants to join.
Well, if anybody would like to come along and learn to dance, we'd love to have you. We do have a learners class going on Wednesday nights, and Karen, you can contact Karen or myself, and we can get you set up. We'll give you the phone numbers.
We'll put it up for you on the
and you'll be more than welcome to come along, and just come along casual. You don't have to get dressed up. Just wear some flat shoes, something that's comfortable to wear, and look, we'll join you in, and you by the end of the night you will be dancing. Yeah,
which will be good. They'll enjoy it. All right, thanks guys, and we'll see you at the next square dance.
Do an elemental left with the corner girl, grand right and left, hey grand right and left you go. Gonna meet a little girl, box the mat, pull by, elemental left, back to your own promenade. You promenade your lady fair, stop when I get her back home, you do the when you're there, head square through four. Touch a corner, do a walk and dodge, do a partner trade, past the ocean, swing through, and boys run around that girl, then change your line. Dance up to the middle and come on back. Past the ocean just like that. Swing through one more time. Lovely. Boys run. Ferris wheel. Centers pass through. Touch a quarter with the outside too and scoot back. Boys, run around that girl, dance to the middle and come on back. Past the ocean, looking good. Ladies trade, recycle this girl. Veer left, Ferris wheel. In the middle, gonna veer to the left, veer to the right. Do a right and left through and turn the girl when you're done. Star through, past the ocean. Swing through, spin your top. And a right and left through and turn a little girl when you're doing good. Star through, and a right and left through and turn the girl, dive into the middle and square through. 3, 2, 1. Here she is. Elemental left with the corner. Grand right and left. Hey, grand right and left. You go, gonna meet a little girl and you promenade a lady fair. Hey, all the way, go around that square. Gonna get her back home. Sides, promenade halfway. Down the middle, past the ocean and extend. Swing through. Spin your top. And a right and left through and turn the girl, you're looking good. Past the ocean just like that. Swing through. Boys run. Ferris wheel. Centers pass through. Everybody veer left. Chain down the line. You're looking good. And a right and left through and turn the girl. Star through. Dive through. Square through. 3. Hey, 1, 2, 3. Here she comes. Elemental left with the corner girl. Hey, grand right and left. Yep, grand right and left you go.